So what the hell have we done in 5 years?
Should we start like we're all like sort of started?
Well, it's not got the last 5 years on the top of my head, but I'll give it a go. So it all started when we were on the Nox Crew forums.
5 years. 2017, officially. A long time.
We'd all gathered around because we watched the game show, and we thought, you know what? Let's talk about the game show. That's not really where the primogenesis of this whole thing is. The primogenesis of this thing is...
I still remember, like, way back before it was even a group, where we were using the Nox Crew TeamSpeak to hang out.
more sort of the bit where we decided, you know what? Let's make our own game show. Except we didn't actually think that. We thought, let's make Mario Party.
That's a tough one. I mean, I remember the first day the build server actually started. I remember I was one of the first people that logged on, and I can't remember who else was there. Like, I remember in my memory, I remember people like Jammy being there, but apparently he didn't join until like months later, which is crazy. But I remember like building like parkour courses and just random like stuff all over the server. Sean was like making his first ever Mario Party like styled board game thing.
Because that's even more copyright infringing. So might as well. And then... Now we're here if you skip about 5 years.
Well, I would have to say it was the Nox Squad game show.
Game show is so fun to make.
See, I joined the game show team for 2 because I was arrogant and thought that I could do video editing, and no one saw.
I just, like, for fun, started writing music, so I was really interested at the time. And so people were like, oh, this is awesome, like, someone's making music, like, let's keep going, like, this is clearly a good idea. It made it real. I think it made it real for everyone.
Oh, do you know, actually, talk about this, I've just remembered my favourite time. Do you all remember the, like, hectic days that was rebuilding the factory right at the beginning? I was thinking about that just now, and how, like, we managed to do that in, like, a week.
Which attempt
no.
was that? We've rebuilt the factory about 8 times.
I became the Ressa Studios artist, and you know, half of my life was doing like schoolwork and half of it was doing Ressa, which, you know, it made me a better designer. I'm actually thankful, and it's sort of turned into like my job now.
The scenarios that we watched these players go through of screaming and us cheering and going, yeah, let's go. And
But imagine how Billy...
those are definitely moments that I enjoy.
Game show is so much fun. It's so stressful, but it's so fun. I love game show. I love what it produces. I love seeing the end product. I love watching the contestants and feeling them in the moment and cheering them on.
Last year, when we did our anniversary game show stream, that was incredible. Like, we did it because we wanted to do it, and it was just so much fun.
Another one of my sort of favourite memories of being in Ressa was being able to do the Nox Squad game show for Cubed 2021, because obviously that was my way into Ressa, is that I played in the 2020 Cubed edition of NSGS.
I just think also, like, for the fact that we were a bunch of like 15 and 16 year olds who had no idea what we were doing with our lives, the fact that we were able to like put that together for us was like very good for our self-esteem.
I'm doing game show now. I can't leave because I love game show so much.
I like Mind Show.
101 ways to leave
a
Mind Show.
Because I liked the original show, and then I liked that we ended up actually doing a full series of it. Now it exists as its own nice little self-contained series.
Yes, landlord, that is Kit Kat on sushi. That is not a sushi roll Kit Kat.
It's a sushi roll Kit Kat.
The
No,
Kit
it's
Kat's
not.
hot flavoured.
It's not. Wait, I'm going to place a fresh plate. Oh, is it
Oh,
Jeremy?
Danny, mate. Where is Danny?
I'm having a mare. I am having a mare. Okay, Jeremy, don't drag me. Oh, wait, what is it? You're on a really long car journey and you're bursting for a piss. And then when it's just like, when you relieve yourself in a woods in the middle of the M1, it just...
Danny, is that what you were doing?
That sounds oddly specific.
Yeah, no, I used to have this spot. There was this lay-by on the M1, and there was this tree. There was this tree, I'm telling you.
Danny, what's your least favourite thing that you've ever done for Ressa, and why is it 101 ways?
I mean, that's the only thing I've ever done for Russell, right? We'll get revived. He'll come back. He'll come back.
Like that's coming back, or is it?
I'm excited for the comeback, Danny.
Yeah, I'm
Episode
just sending you the money on PayPal now. Just give me a second.
Wait, whoa.
What?
Hey,
Don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry about
Of
it.
course, it's rigged.
It's coming through now. Just check halfway through the show.
I only like the Bedrock maps. I'm honest. People have downloaded our stuff 7.3 billion times.
Yeah, after season 1, I think that was when the Nox were like, cool, you did it. You should do maps.
What about this the other day? Where did the idea for Jungle Royale come from?
Your noggin, David, I think.
I don't think
Yeah, I
it
think
did.
it was you.
I think
I suppose
it
I'm
was you,
meeting.
David.
I think the most proud I've ever been, as far as working for the company goes, is probably the Crushing Wolves mini game from Jungle Royale, because that was a fun little crisis, and I'm very glad I helped.
My favorite thing was the crabs. I like the crabs. I'm not gonna lie, all crabs all the way.
Oh yeah, Crab Cove. That was insane. That was an insane thing for
That was
Russell.
mental.
That was good enough for Microsoft to say, "Hey, we're going to pay you some money to make a map."
It was definitely a strange thing to, like, a couple of weeks later, Google Crab Cove Carnival and see a Reddit thread of someone going, "How do you get them a serious vendor?" Like, this is the sort of thing I'd expect for proper video games.
I also agree with the videos when we released Jungle Royale, seeing people post stuff on YouTube of them playing it was like, wow, people enjoy what we make. But then Crab Cove came out and there were just too many to even do that, and that was another, like, wow moment.
What I found really incredible was the reach that Crab Cove got. And that's probably because it was free and promoted to all hell and back.
I think there's a certain charm to, like, this is something of the people for the people.
I think it was also like how the team's built as well. Like it's like a group of friends that's doing it for stuff like meetups as well.
Mass has just been riding this amazing journey, and it's probably not going to stop if everyone keeps wanting to be here, and I hope so.
Oh, Rasa Radio. That had some good times.
It was a fun thing to do. It really was. It had some good moments. It had some interesting chats.
I still like the iconic clip of Rasa Radio is, and now for the weather.
And the weather. Looks kind of hot to me. That's been the weather.
It's got to be.
Charity stream, Danny. I stayed at yours for this charity
Oh,
stream. One of them.
that one.
The I can't remember. Was the Peppa Pig cake on camera or off camera?
I think it was Jake's birthday that day.
Yes, celebrating Jake's birthday. Yeah, that was a good time.
Do you remember that time that I wore that orange wig to that charity stream? It lives in infamy in my memory. I hate that photo. Every time I watch that stream back, I'm like, I look so bad. If that ever got out, I don't think I could live with myself. I'd have to move to a different country.
Don't know what picture we're talking about. It's on the screen right now.
Yeah, I'd probably say, like, the vlogs. Like, I still go back and I watch the I-62 and I-64 vlogs sometimes. But we did London last year.
Okay, you want something from me? Here's something. Flipping London meetup after COVID. All that time waiting, and we got to finally meet up. That's like the first, meetup that we've had because of what we did with Marketplace. That was what Jungle Royale helped us fund.
I think meeting Rasta as well, meeting people in person for the first time was lovely. I'd only been a part of the group for a couple of months, but was able to see everyone and Jammy is tall. That was the first thing that I noticed.
It was just like, and then when we was having dinner, having a few drinks, like when Adam, say, this has been a stonking good week and all that sort of stuff.
Guys, this has been a phenomenal weekend so far. We've had a fantastic time. Proud of you all, love you all. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
I mean, we made a cool breakfast cooking video. and we watched Daddy handle hash browns in a certain way.
You're such a. Daddy, don't put it on the ground. Not the table.
So yeah, like just being able to spend nearly a whole week together, you know, just mess about in London and stuff.
And I can't wait to see everyone again in August. And I can't wait to get all of our friends overseas to visit.
The fact that we'll be able to, you know, see each other soon and like hang out and have fun and
because of Marketplace.
Because you guys took that step and it became, you know, incredible.
I think as well, seeing all of the international members of RASA together in the meetup in the summer is going to be really special.
The mega meetup.
The mega, it's the meetup. The meetup to, I was gonna send the meetup to end all meetups, but I hope we meet all again.
We've all grown up so much.
It's really moving that a lot of people with one similarity of making entertainment for people. It's really nice to see that come together as a community and for it to be celebrated for and going on for the past 5 years.
I think one of my favorite memories of RASA would probably have to be that Secret Santa. That was a lot of fun. That was, at least for me, kind of like my first bonding experience with a lot of different members of RASA. I'm looking forward to going out to T-Land in August, which is going to be a lot of fun.
It does come back to friendship. And I love all of the guys, like, they are my best friends. Everyone in RASA is just my best friend. And I can't express enough how grateful I am for them to have their support in the high times and the low times.
Guys, why am I like emotional about this all of a sudden? It's Minecraft.
I'm gonna get all soppy here. The bonds that we have strengthened over the last 5 years, going from, you know, people online who just know each other and talk to each other every day to like actual properly close friends.
I was gonna say, I think playing games and making maps and things is fun, but the friendship is the big thing for me.
Oh yeah.
Like how many hours just chilling, hanging out, you know, coming to weddings. That's the best part.
I know you literally invited random strangers to your wedding.
Like people from the internet to my house to then come to my wedding.
One of them was your best man.
Yeah, that's a bit mad.
Yeah.
Cheese boy.
We love you, Asa.
Is the fact that we're having like a 5-year celebration and like having this moment where like we, for the first time in 5 years, get to kind of sit down and pat ourselves on the back and be like, wow, we actually did a lot of cool things. It's just so unbelievable to tell my like 15-year-old self that this project would become that.
I don't even know. I guess I've enjoyed most of it. that's my input.
Thank you all for supporting us, and here's to 5 more years.
Viewers, you can now be even more excited now that you've watched this, because in the next 5 years, we're going to release a 10-year retrospective.
Here's to 5 years of RASA.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Hurrah.
Cheers.
5 years.
Yeah.
5
more
years.
5
5
more
more
years.
years.
5 more years.
5 more years.
Okay, that's cool. Let's cut it.
Oh, alright, I'll see you all in 3 months at the meetup, I guess. Alright, bye.
I'm going to change up the question. Is that okay? What was the worst thing that we did?
Oh, I know the answer to that one. That fucking Minecraft Game Show Award thing.
Yes.
Oh,
That was
about
by
that.
far the worst thing we have ever done.